Hey there, welcome to Ben's Eco Adventure. Today's video is to show you how to change the 12-volt battery in your Nissan Ariya. This video may not meet my normal quality standards for the channel, but it was filmed somewhat under duress. I had to change the battery in a parking lot far from home. The audio on this was unfortunately pretty much unusable, and part of that was because I didn't have my microphone on my lapel. But also, as we were filming, a car with a very noisy muffler pulled up right beside us and kept the engine running. And to add to that, there was another car in the background playing music, so I would probably get a copyright strike. Suffice to say, I'm going to do this one as a voiceover. And I'll also note this video was the first video I've done that was filmed by my kiddo, so posting it partly because of that as well. Hope you find it useful. All right, starting off, you'll need to disconnect that little blue connector. That is a 12-volt battery monitor. Just pushes to the side there, and then you can pull it off. Next, you'll want to remove the fuse box. This gets a little bit tricky, and I've posted some pictures here so you can see which tabs you need to push. There's one on the back side as well. You'll need to finagle it. Don't yank on it too hard. But once you do that, then you want to go ahead and use your 10mm wrench and disconnect the negative terminal from the battery. Set that off to the side, just away from everything so it doesn't touch and doesn't cause a spark or a short. Next, you're going to go over to the positive side, and I've circled the positive terminal right there. Again, use your 10mm wrench, loosen that. And again, make sure that that stays away from everything else. Next, you're going to remove the battery hold down. That's that one circled right there. The wrench will work for that. If you have a extended socket, that can also work well. If you have a very short socket, it's probably not going to fit over that very long bolt. And it takes some work to get it off. That's a lot of turns. Make sure you don't lose it or drop it down into Narnia. On the other side, there's the same thing highlighted there. This one is more tricky if you just have a wrench like I did. This is where having a socket, especially a deep socket, is really going to come in handy. But I edited out my struggle on that part. Now you can remove the battery hold down, set it aside, make sure you don't lose it. And the battery actually has handles that fold out, and that makes it a lot easier to lift out. And you'll see them here in just a second. There they are. Make sure you have the same size battery. The terminal should be in the same spot. Getting it down into the spot where it's located can be a little bit tricky. It took some finagling, and initially I didn't have it seated. It was hung up on the lip of the tray where it sits. I'm also moving over this plastic cover thing. I'm not exactly sure what that's supposed to do. I don't know if it's important or not, but I figured I will put it back on there just in case. All right, and now putting the battery hold down back into its spot, just lining up those bolts. And this was a point I realized that the battery wasn't seated all the way. So you see it kind of set down there. It should sit flush, and those bolts should go down easily. They shouldn't get hung up. Now I'm just threading on the nuts by hand to start. And you can tighten them down as much as you can by hand and then use your wrench. Unfortunately, the fuse box does kind of get in your way. There's not really a whole lot you can do about that. You just kind of got to keep moving it back and forth. This is where just having the wrench again gets very tricky, tightening that on. But we made it work. Same thing on the other side. Tighten that bracket back down. You need to get it firm, but I wouldn't recommend over tightening it. Just get it so it feels nice and secure and the battery doesn't move around if you try to kind of push or pull on it. I'm sure there's a torque spec. Unfortunately, I don't know exactly what it is. Now we're putting the fuse box back in place. I'm showing you there where the kind of arms of the box line up. So you want to make sure you get both the front and back lined up and then push it down, and hopefully you will hear a small click. It's not very distinct, but it should lock into place. Next, I'm reattaching the positive terminal. You always want to do the positive terminal. And the negative terminal gets removed first and put on last. And I put that red cover back on there too. I had to take off a little protective shipping cap on the terminals of the battery, so that's what that was. Make sure you take that off before you try to reattach it to the car. And once you put the negative terminal back on, you might see a small spark. That's normal. You want to make sure that you are in a ventilated area. And I'll note in this video, I am not wearing safety glasses. I highly, highly recommend that you wear safety glasses anytime you are working around a battery. There's a small chance that hydrogen gas can be released, and that could cause a fire or explosion. So being on the road, I didn't have a chance to do that, but it is what it is. So last thing, just making sure everything's tightened down, and I'm reconnecting that 12-volt battery monitor that I showed you right at the beginning of the video, pushing the blue tab back in till it clicks. So there you go. There's replacing a 12-volt battery on the fly in a Nissan Ariya. Hopefully this will solve the problem. I will keep you posted. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel and give this video a thumbs up if you found it helpful. Thank you so much for watching. Always appreciate the new subscribers we've got. And stay tuned for more Nissan Ariya content. Thanks for watching.